Good evening, everybody. This is the Wednesday, May 31st. Let me unmute my computer. Welcome to the Hangout. And stand by while I get the link and post it on Stunt Hanger. Okay, there it is. The link for tonight's video chat is in the open forum in the thread called Hangout at the Bench, hosted by Rusty. So if you click that, you should be able to get in here with us. And I'll also paste it in the chat out here beside the live feed. And then I'm going to go to YouTube. Let's see. Okay. All right, if you want to join us, just click the link in the open forum at Stunt Hanger, and don't forget to mute or stop your YouTube feed so that we don't get that echoing in the background. That can get kind of confusing. I think the other night we had about 2 or 3 people with it going at the same time. Looks like we got 2 viewers popping in, so welcome. Hope y'all will join. And we're going to go probably until about 11 or 11:30 Eastern time tonight. I've got plans to go fly some patterns in the morning, so I need to get loaded up and moving, and don't want to stay up too late, but I'll go as long as it's lively, if we can get people to join up. So we'll be glad to have you. And come on in. I really need to get some show and tell things to do in this downtime when I'm waiting for you to join up. Meanwhile, I'll just sit here and look at myself and adjust my camera and stuff like that. Working in front of a camera is not something I've done very often. I'm pretty happy in front of live audiences. Never done too much in front of cameras before. I don't get stage fright in front of live audiences. You wouldn't think I would in front of cameras, but it's different. Looks like my shop helper that sits on the red chair behind me hadn't entered the scene yet. He usually comes and keeps me company. That's the professor, my one-eyed shop helping cat. I found an old copy of my Pitts special newsletter. That's the one I send out to the Metrolina Control Line Society, MCLS club members, our Huntersville group, and other people who sign up at contests and such. And we've got about 225 viewers. Well, Will Davis sent me one from, gosh, let's see, must have been about 10 years ago, and I found some interesting pictures and articles in it, and got a good picture of Doc Holliday getting an award, and Artie, let's see, was it Artie Jessup, one of the Norfolk era modelers, and some other names I recognize. So I'm going to try to put together some pictures and clips of articles and post that on the forum, because it looks like it might be interesting enough. It's got some old planes, and Watt Moore's old friend Curtis Comer, if anybody knows him. has some interesting old planes that he used to fly. So I'm gonna get that on Stunt Hanger tomorrow, probably tomorrow evening, and that'll be after I get back from flying patterns and hopefully bringing back a whole airplane. I'll be flying the same tutor that has been so good to me this first couple of contests this spring. And hopefully I'll have my twister in the air. I've been talking about it since January, it seems like, when I broke the wing, and then got a new one from Walter Omlin, got it back together, so it's just sitting there waiting for paint while I procrastinate. Just paint over the fillets and repairs. Nothing else broke but the wing. That double, triple fuselage is incredibly stiff and strong. It didn't take any damage. Hey, Sparky.
Let me get this turned off so I don't get a strike. Shit.
Is that YouTube going on in the background?
What's that?
Is that YouTube going on in the background?
No, movie.
Oh, so you got the Nobler out. Is that what's sitting on the table there?
No, it's one of Tom's airplanes. Let's see here.
Oh, is it a Cavalier?
Yeah. Oh, I'm still sanding and painting. Did you announce the stream?
I did. I put it in the open forum and put it on the right-hand side of our group chat here, but I don't know who can see that before they join the group chat.
It looks like that that link that's posted works all the time.
Oh, good. Yeah, I was wondering about that too, and you had said you were curious about that the other night. So that's good. It makes it easy to bookmark.
Live events. Let's see, where did you go? Yeah, I was going to wait for you to start it because I'm not going to be on a whole lot tonight. I got some other shit I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'll do it. I'll start it Friday night.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'm going to probably cut out early tonight, 11 or 11:30 Eastern, because I got to get loaded up to go fly in the morning. Gonna go fly some patterns.
Huh.
Looks like it's just me and Wayne so far.
And who? Oh, let's see. We're going to reverse this thing. I don't remember how to do that. I hate this. I can't never remember what I'm doing.
What are you trying to do?
Reverse the picture.
Yeah, I've got mine reversed. It's less confusing when you're looking at yourself, and then like when I held my trophy up the other night, I realized that the words were all backwards, but I think they were the correct direction on the other end, on y'all's end.
I got the Hangout toolbox open, but that ain't it. Live chat. We got 0 viewers. Control V. Enter.
We had 2 or 3. I guess you were probably one of them before you entered. As soon as I posted in the open forum, 2 or 3 popped up.
Let's see. I don't know what's wrong there. Anyway, this is that Durablock set that I put an ad on Stunt Hanger for. You get it off Amazon.
Yeah. I don't think I saw it.
What?
I don't think I've seen it. I didn't see the post.
It's not a post. It's an ad. It'll run up at the top.
Oh.
And it's got different. It's got the small block. Got a round block. got a little square rectangle block. You get a bar of soap, I guess they don't. You get a flat block for blocking wings, it's kind of rubbery. You get a
yeah, all kinds of contours.
yeah, I don't know how long this is, but you get a longer one. You get 7 different blocks. Now these are the best sanding blocks I've ever used. They don't weigh anything. So this is like a piece of balsa wood. It's so light. And they don't dig in. So
How soft are they? Are they squishy like those ones you get in the painting section at Lowe's that you get them and they're about 4 or 5 inches long and they've got a couple of tapered edges. They're like sponges. You can wash them and squeeze them out.
no, it's not like that at all. This is EVA rubber. They're made for sanding. Car sanding. Sanding Bondo and and if you buy that off the link, it helps out Stunt Hanger.
I'll take a look at it because sanding blocks is something that I always want and never have. I'm starting to get a better collection of them, and I've got one of the hard aluminum long ones with all the contours on it from, I don't know, Top Flight or one of those places. I always thought about getting one of the 36-inch ones and cutting it into different sizes.
I got them like this. This is a super long one. The only problem is they dig the wood because of the sharp edges.
They sure will, yeah.
And they're heavy. Durablock sells a super long one, but I don't have a super long one. 20 inches is what I got longest. Yeah, I can't get that off. Oh well. And then you buy rolls of sandpaper that are sticky. I got this from this particular roll from Bernie Trent, but the Bernie Trent 320. But I buy the sticky rolls off of Amazon as well.
Yeah, that seems to be overpriced everywhere I've seen them, but I have bought a couple, and other times I'll just use sanding belts and spray adhesive, Loctite medium spray adhesive. Cut them to size, put them on.
The Tom Morris job, I'm pretty close on 2 of them. Now, he kind of let me up on the at the meet there. He said that I could just finish 2 more and prime 2, so. The finish is the hardest part of the build. That's why he didn't want to do it.
It definitely takes the most patience. Oh, we got
Problem
3.
is I just don't have as much time at home anymore. I'm going to do what I can, but I mean, the thing about finish, if you rush it, it looks like crap. You still there?
I am, yeah. Yeah, I try to be patient with finishing. I have just recently gotten a compressor and intend to learn how to use a spray gun instead of rattle cans. That'll be a step up in quality, I hope. But I haven't gotten my spray tools yet.
Harbor Freight.
Yeah, so I hear. I think you can get them fairly inexpensively there, and so I need to go over to Wayne's and take a look and see exactly what he's got, and then copy what he has.
I've been sanding on these 2 airplanes since I've been home.
Is that's gray? It looks white on the camera, but it's that DC 540 you're sanding, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
And I see some superfill too. I've been wanting to try that, but I've got a lifetime supply of micro balloons, so I guess it wouldn't hurt to have both.
I would take the micro balloons and throw them out. I mean, that's what I used to use, but
Epoxy is just such a pain in the ass. You know, it's hard to be neat with it without getting a thumbprint here or there. And superfill, it looks to me like it's a lot easier to use and a lot easier to sand.
a lot lighter. It's just a better product.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's God, I wish I would have. If I'd have been the guy doing the fillets, I didn't build these airplanes.
I think I overdo the size of my fillets. Not getting really any extra strength out of it when it's mixed with micro balloons. So next plane I do, I'm going to try to make them a little bit smaller. So I make them about 3/8 inches wide now, and that's probably too much.
I used to do them big fillets too. Now I do a little tiny fillet, and that's it. I think I'm gonna just for one more coat of primer on this thing in the places that I haven't primed yet, and we're gonna paint it because I could spend 6 months sanding on these. I haven't eaten dinner yet, so as soon as I get the call.
Yeah, that's why I was late tonight, because I was frying chicken livers and gizzards, and I made a mess in the kitchen that still needs cleaning up. Greasy mess, but it's good.
You can have all my
gravy too.
You can have my share of liver.
I like them, but I only like them when they're extremely well done. They got to be good and crunchy, crispy, I should say. Yeah, I generally don't eat guts either, but that is one that I like, is chicken livers fried.
Well, yeah. I'm gonna have to get me some more pollywogs. I've lost my pollywog.
What's a pollywog?
I'll show you here. Tadpole or whatever you call these damn things.
Yeah, I knew those were the same thing. Tadpoles and pollywogs.
Yeah. Yeah, here we go. These are tadpoles or pollywogs or whatever. Different shapes. And you put sandpaper on them and sand the fillets and so on and so forth. They're made of hard rubber too. It's something to make life easier.
That microphone makes sanding sound like it's 10 times more aggressive than it really is.
Yeah, this is 320.
It's like we got 6 viewers now. Come on in, folks. We'd love to have you. I think the wind's supposed to be only 4 to 7 tomorrow. Partly cloudy, mostly cloudy. So sounds like a stunt paradise out at the field.
Chili today, hot tamale, just like the Mexican menu. Yeah, on these airplanes, I'm just gonna paint what's here. Look, the last ones I reshaped them all, and I just don't have the time.
Are these built for internal combustion engines or electric?
Electric.
Have you built any electrics?
Yeah, 7 of them. I sold them all. I still got some good electric stuff for sale if anybody's interested. I got an iCharger and 3 of the Thunder Power high dollar batteries, some light ones, and 2500 milliamp 5S or whatever they have, 5 still.
There are some times when I feel like it would be convenient to have a nice electric stunter, but I'm not going to tool up for getting an electric fleet. I like internal combustion, and that's why I got into the hobby when I was 12 years old in the first place, because it had an engine in it. And I love the little engines and all of the things you have to work with to get them to run right.
Well,
That in a thread the other night when Brett was talking about fueling, or somebody started it. He got involved in the conversation. Metering your fuel to match the conditions, like we had to do last weekend.
electric has its upside, it has its downside. The upside is you can set the motor, push the button, it'll run the same every time for as much time as you need, whatever you set the timer to.
And you can fly it without raising any tension.
They have decent power. They're kind of wimpy, I think. I don't care what anybody says. I haven't seen one that really has authority like a PA.
Seems like watts are watts, whether it comes from fuel or electricity. That's the way it seems. Now, that doesn't always mean in real life that applies.
There's more torque on a PA than there is on electric motors. Anyway, those are the upsides. The downsides are you can't leave the batteries charged. So, and the batteries are very expensive. At least the ones that I get, $100 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
You can't leave the batteries charged. So if somebody calls you up and says, "Let's go flying," oh, wait a minute, I got to charge the batteries. Where with a fuel airplane, I can say, "Okay, great, fuel's in the car, throw my airplane in the car and go."
Yeah, pick up and go.
And I do like the delivery of the power of the IC. Oh man, terrible. Well, I will say this. This learning experience has taught me a valuable lesson. And that lesson is I'm going to finish my own stuff, nobody else's.
Yeah, it's hard enough to find time for your own stuff without making promises.
Well, I needed the money. He was nice enough to offer it to me. I mean, to do the job. But the job was way more undertaking than I had expected. You know, I do things different. When I say they're ready to paint, they're ready to paint.
I didn't realize it was full fuselage planes you had. I was thinking it was just those profiles that he's getting.
No. I did one profile, which was that T51B. It turned out pretty decent. I did let's see, not a crossfire, whatever that other thing that Hunt did, Genesis.
Yeah.
I did an Eager Burger Max B, a Genesis. I did a Formula S. I did what else? The Formula, the T51B, Formula S, Max B, P51, Genesis, and a Jim Sulhavy, whatever they call that thing. Looks like a Nobler. Gipsy.
The Crossfire is a twin engine one, right?
No.
What was?
Bob Hunt's twin is called Passing Wind. I mean, Second Wind.
It can't be called that. I don't remember. He posted a picture of a beautiful twin recently on Stunt Hanger, and I saved a picture of it that I put in my computer's desktop slideshow for the rotating backgrounds, but I forget what it's called now. I was thinking that might be the Crossfire. So
Anybody watching this who's going to go to Brodax, I got two more cameras that I'm going to bring along. Actually, 3 more, but let me know, like I did last year. See me at the field. I'll give you a camera with a couple batteries. You shoot whatever you want to shoot, whatever footage fits your fancy. And when we're done with Brodax, or each day I'll get the camera back and download the footage, and we'll edit up a movie. I spent today getting my camera rig ready with a lavalier mic and an interview mic.
I'll step away for a moment. I'll be right back.
All right. Everybody watching this, make sure you like, subscribe, and share this channel. We're we're getting there. 889, I think, subscribers. Need 1,000. God. Yeah, look at them fillets in the back. Should I be better off just to go over the top of them? Crap. Ugh. Didn't realize it. I'm going to give a demonstration on superfill tonight, I think. I'll zoom the camera in real close and show you how to fix some of this stuff.
All right, I'm back. I sat down and forgot my coffee, and it goes. Brain fuel.
Okay, click on my screen on the bottom so it stays on my picture.
Got it.
Okay, except for let me see here. Let me click mine. Oh shit. There we go. Okay. Hopefully we can make this work. I'm going to zoom the camera in so you can see what I'm going to do here. Let's see here. Camera controls. There we go, right there.
That's a rough looking fillet.
Yes, it is. Instead of sand it, I'm going to go over the top of it. Okay, so made a decision. Instead of sanding my ass off, we're going to mix up a little superfill, and we're going to put in a fillet to fill all that. Very important when you're doing each step to to do it complete. I could even fix this fillet here down to the end. That way you don't have any surprises. Like, I didn't notice that until I shot primer on it. So mix up some superfill. It's 2 to 1. Let's see if I can find me a stick now. I got some sticks.
Yeah, I keep a pack of bamboo skewers for stuff like that.
I buy popsicle sticks. They're real cheap.
Yeah, got those too at Walmart. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, 2 popsicle sticks. I need something to mix it on because I don't want to mix it on. I don't have maybe I do. Let's see. I thought I got an AMA magazine the other day.
Yeah, I got one the other day.
The only thing that they're good for is mixing epoxy on. Let me look here.
And they featured one of my friends from another forum's airplane in last month's. I heard about it. I hadn't read it
already. So, what are we going to use? I guess we'll use the back of this. Guys, didn't have a back. Crap. Man, I'm in dire straits. Oh, here we go. Got a box of magazines down here. I know. I'll go get those envelopes.
Now, let that be a lesson to your boys and girls. Always keep a stack of model aviations in your shop. That way you got something to mix epoxy on.
Yeah, I usually use the AMA magazine. Anyway, I couldn't find an AMA magazine, so I got a manila envelope. And we're going to mix it up 2 to 1. 2 parts blue. 1, 2. And it's not a science project. You don't have to be exact. So, oh, you got to mix. No, you don't.
Does the ratio affect the workability? Is it softer or thicker one way or the other?
No, it dries quicker. So if you mix it 50-50, you don't have as much work time. So there we go. We got approximately 2 to 1. I really didn't want to have to go through this, but I think it's going to be easier to fill than sand. Balsa USA didn't remember us, and he said he's never advertised on Stunt Hanger before. Whatever. The guy's been with people are dementia. He's been with us for 2 years. So all we got now on Stunt Hanger is National Balsa, or of course Stunt Hanger Hobby, which is my preference.
Yeah, I've bought balsa from Stunt Hanger Hobby before. And when I email Stunt Hanger Hobby, does that come to you or does that come to Tom? What's the deal on that?
I don't know. It depends on what.
I guess that's CT Morris. I guess that goes to Tom. So
That's Tom.
Yeah.
Okay, so just a quick overview. Going to take some of my finger. This is way back there, so we don't want to use too much. And we're just going to smooth that out there. And I think that's going to be a whole lot easier fix than sanding. Whole lot. But I don't want to put too much on back here because this is all the way in the back, and any weight you add is no good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the hardest. That's the hardest added weight in the whole build to deal with when you're balancing it.
That turned out good. So now I need to get a razor blade if I have any. There we go. I use razor blades as trowels. I'll get a razor blade, and we're going to clean up this edge here. Now normally I tape that edge off, but I don't want to get involved in a big rigmarole. So we'll do it this way. Then I got to clean out the hinge line. Unfortunately, I can't take the flaps and elevators off this. They're cloth hinges. So that's how I repaired the fillet there. That looks acceptable.
That looks pretty good, yeah.
I'll come back in a minute and with some 91 proof alcohol on my finger and smooth it out. I won't have to sand it. So do the other side.
So how long before that fillet is dry enough to handle or paint?
Tomorrow. But that's okay. We got the fillets up here that I'm going to straighten out too. Not quite as bad, but Superfill sand's real easy too.
It sure does go on easy compared to what I've been doing. I like that. I'm definitely going to get that ordered.
Only 20 bucks. It'll be the best 20 bucks you ever spent. Okay, so we're going to do this side too.
Who do you buy that from?
Wix Aircraft. You can find that link on Stunt Hanger as well.
Okay.
Inside the first post, the black and yellow little banner Wix. Rotates through like the rest of the banner.
Yeah, I think I've seen it.
I buy all my dope there. Superfill. I did buy 1/8" plywood there too, but I got to buy a 4x8 sheet of plywood, and I don't need that much. I bought it one time and split it with some guys. So we're gonna do. I'm just doctoring the fillets here. I mean, I'm not really putting fillets in. I'm just smoothing out what was already here. I can hardly wait to go to Brodax. I did a little touch up on my Continental to get it ready to go. Buffed it and daubed some paint on where it was nicked up.
You gonna take your shoestring up there again? Isn't that
No.
what you took for scale last year?
Yeah, I flew scale last year. Nope, I'm done with scale. And I'll tell you why. I don't know whether I made it known to. Last year at the Nationals, my cal came off. I only got the third. I won Brodax, and I was pretty happy about that. And I got a third at the National. I only had that airplane's only got about 10 flights on it. So it was more or less to prove something to myself that I could do it. But at the Nationals last year, I would have done better. I could not have been first because that guy with that, I don't know, that silver airplane, whatever that thing was, it got a first place, really deserved it. And the overall real scale airplane was unbelievably good. The yellow crop duster.
Mm.
But anyway, I felt some real bias, you know, because I was new at the field or whatever. I almost didn't place because of a flight that the guy did, the last flight. Nobody scores a perfect score. Nobody. He got a 99.9 or some nonsense, and they were what I think they were trying to get me out of there, and I only beat them like 2 points or whatever. I think, I don't know. So it's not worth the time. It's Stunt a lot better.
Yeah, we're not averse to outsiders. We love them in control line precision aerobatics. If that wasn't true, I'd have never gotten where I am today in just 3 years of learning. So 3 years ago, I didn't even know the sport existed.
Okay, so we did the bottom here. Let's see what the top looks like, if it needs any doctoring, and they do.
Do you know John Simpson?
Well, certainly I do.
Certainly. Okay. I don't. Was he at Triple Tree?
Yep.
Well, I've met him via email since then. And seems like somebody I want to meet. Maybe next spring I'll get a chance to. Don't know if he's come to Huntersville or not. Where's he from?
He'll be with Tom Morris. He's always with Tom Morris. And John,
Well,
if you're watching,
I guess I did meet
let
him.
you up on my Thunderbolt crash.
I guess I probably did meet him and just didn't realize who I was talking to.
He's a nice guy.
Seems like it. Yeah. We had a good little exchange on email after I misspoke about the Cavalier that was in the lineup on Saturday.
Yeah, that was John's, and he was flying it.
Okay. Well, yeah, I guess I did meet him then. Man, it's just a two-man show tonight. We got 7 viewers.
That's all right. They're getting a bird's eye view of me doing fillets.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Doctoring fillets.
I've got a little Windows XP laptop I might try to set up out in the shop for doing this, so I can be in the shop. I don't know how well XP is, such a glitchy system. I don't know if that's going to work well or not, but
shit, I loved XP.
well, I did at the time.
Yeah.
I did at the time, but Windows 7 is the most stable system they've ever come out with. It's more stable than Windows 10, which is what I'm using now. I get along with it okay.
It's spying on you. You got Cortana turned off?
I do.
You got location turned off?
I do.
If you do a search, you can find a program that I've installed on all mine called Windows 10 Destroyer. And it blocks all the communications between Windows and your computer, which is really the NSA.
Actually, I might have location turned on because it knows where I am when I do searches. But
Yeah.
it's just a desktop. It's not like it travels and goes anywhere.
You got a cell phone, right?
I do, yeah, Android. Yeah, it knows where I am.
Well, it's talking back to your computer because your links and everything are saved up together. So turn your GPS. I've even cut the GPS out of my phone. There's a little battery in there with an antenna on it that's a GPS system that even if your phone's off, it knows where it is. Well, not on mine. I cut that out. And you can go on the internet and find out how to do that. So open your phone up. It's underneath there. It looks like a little hearing aid battery. I just don't believe everybody needs to know what I'm doing and where I'm at all times. It's nobody's business.
That fillet you're working on now is not on camera.
Yeah.
There you go.
My phone's going off. Somebody's sending me a message. I don't know what that's about. Let me see what the message is about. It could be something about this stream.
Yeah, I wonder if people are having trouble hooking up.
Let's see. Two messages. Yeah, it says there's no, it's on the open forum. Go to the open forum. And let me put that here, Control V. Enter. Go to the open forum and click on Rusty's link. He's hosting the at the bench. This is Frank.
Yeah, Hangout at the Bench, hosted by Rusty. Should be right near the top of the open forum.
And click on the link in the bottom. I posted it once too. I probably should set it up so that you can get on at the bench because that's where everybody's looking at the bench. Let me post it up there. Hang out at the bench. Oh, Frank, I should put Frank. We're right here. At the bench. Well, you posted on there. Yeah, you posted it on that. Okay. So, but you didn't put the right link in. That's what it was. Okay.
I put the link I copied from tonight's stream.
Yeah, but it's not in at the bench.
No, not in your old at the bench thread.
Right.
It's in my new one on the open forum.
Yeah, you should start posting them in the at the bench. But
Okay.
post that link with an E on it. Link to join. Control V. Post. Okay, let me call Frank. Frank, Yeah, the link's in at the bench now, but it's in the open forum too. Okay, bye. Yep, that's what it was. That's why we got nobody on there, because they can't find the link.
Okay, well, I didn't think it would be hard to find. Oh, well, the open forums where, I mean, if you go to, when you enter Stunt Hanger, if you go to the newest unread posts, it should be right there.
And not everybody's set up for the unread post business, but it don't matter. You're set up that you can post at the bench.
Okay, I'll start posting it there, and I'll make a note in the other one and lock it after we get everybody clicking.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin out my at the bench posters, a whole bunch of them there. Like I have so much time to to do all this stuff. Oh, I got a lot left over. I only mixed up a tablespoon's worth. I didn't use much. When you're putting superfill on, if you smooth it out before it dries, you don't have to sand it, and it doesn't, you know. That's why I kind of, my mantra on there, every, finish starts with the first piece of wood cut. If you do every step of the way is done to finish, you don't have any unexpected shit at the end. When you put the silk fan down, make sure it's all laying down flat. When you sand a piece of wood, make sure it's finished sanded.
When you smooth the fillets, are you using a little alcohol on your fingertip?
Yeah. But it ain't ready to smooth yet. That takes a little practice to get the right firmness. Like right now, they're kind of soupy. Even though they're starting to set up, they're still kind of soupy. So let me zoom this back out. Camera control. There we go. So this is what I mixed up this much here, and I got still quite a bit left. But because I didn't use much, just enough to fill the lows. Instead of using never, I can tell you this from experience. What the heck? Never use I click the link, but this is what I get. You're not authorized to start a video call. Oh, God. Let me ask you this. How did you start this stream?
When it said go live now, and I clicked that, and Google chat window opened up. I clicked the little guy at the top with the plus sign next to his neck, and a link popped up. I copied that link and posted it in Stunt Hanger.
Control C. Frank, click on the link that I'm going to post right now. Close. Tonight's at the bench.
Yeah, it's the little invite people guy. I just clicked it, and there's a link there. That's what I used.
Okay, Frank, the thread's going to be named Frank and at the bench. And there'll be a link. Control V, post. Click on that.
There's Frank.
Okay.
Hey, Frank.
Hey, how's it going, Rusty?
Oh, I guess okay. It was until I realized my link's not working, and that bothers me that people can't get in.
I think that's why we're not. Oh, what the heck?
So let's see. Sparky just posted.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, you're all right, Frank.
I got too many windows open. Hold on a second.
Anybody that's watching this that wants to join, go to @the_bench. There's a thread called Frank. Click on the link in that thread, and you'll get in.
Okay, how is it now?
You're fine.
Yeah.
Okay, I was getting a lot of feedback. I had like 3 windows open.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, that was a little difficult. I'm thinking that's why people aren't hopping on.
I guess. I don't know what the difference is. Let me go to @the_bench and see what that link looks like.
Yeah, it's not the same link that Sparky gave me.
Where'd you get that link, Sparky?
The little man at the top, the invite.
That's where I got it. Does it end with V4VYE? Yeah. Same thing.
It ends with an E.
Yeah, 4VYE.
I think maybe I'll see if I can make some type of button or something that. Now, when we're not on, somebody could click that link and start a chat, but it won't upload to Stunt Hanger. I don't know. I'm starving. I guess I'm not going to get dinner tonight. I'm going to have to go down and make a sandwich. So just about the time this stuff hardens up, you take the alcohol and smooth it out. So we don't have to.
I'm comparing links between the two right now. Let's see. Let's stream. Okay.
They're the same.
Yeah, they are.
I wonder why it wasn't working for me though.
You clicked the wrong link.
Yeah, they're identical. Okay. Well, at least I'm glad to know I didn't do anything wrong. I thought I'd maybe screwed up, but we'll move on. So how you doing, Frank?
I'm doing all right, Rusty.
What you working at?
Working on a trailing edge sheeting for this nobler wing. You gotta splice it.
Make sure you angle it at a 45.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I usually put a little backing on it too with a 30-second piece of ply, or not ply, but a 30-second piece of balsa. Or even a 64th ply.
'64th ply is too heavy. You don't think it is, but you do that 10 times, it's a couple of grams. All right, that saved me a ton of work doing them. Okay, turn it over and smooth them out. I'm going to try to get this one in white before I go back to Dayton.
When you plan on going back to Dayton?
Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Work a week and spend a week at Rodax and work a week and then come back for 2 weeks.
All right.
Then go back for a week, go to the Nats for a week, work a week, and come back. My whole summer is planned around work and flying.
Sounds like a heck of a summer to me.
Yeah. I really like Dayton, and I'll tell you why. I stay at this motel. It's 4 miles away from the flying field. They have an extremely nice flying site, except for the trees. But I got a key to it. I can let myself in.
What flying site is it? Is it the one on Siebenthaler?
Riverside.
Riverside?
They got 2 paid circles. It's a nice facility. They're talking about doing something with the modelers there, moving them to the field because they don't want to cut the grass. Lazy.
Yeah.
And that's not the club, that's the city parks department.
I think that might have been the same one I flew at.
We're going to Huntersville again, which is another really nice facility, except for the trees.
Except for the trees, yeah. You know, those just started out as weed trees and nobody bothered to cut them. And now they're full-size wind swirlers.
Yeah, but even though it's the dump, it's such a, they did such a good job turning it into a park. It's great.
Yeah, I'm lucky to have 4 nice control line places that I'm a member of, and all of them are really beautiful. Each one's got its advantages. Fort Jackson, Congaree, Triple Tree, and Huntersville.
How far away is Triple Tree from your house?
90 minutes.
100 miles?
Yeah.
Now that's a nice facility there.
Oh,
Really.
boy. Yeah, it sure is. Randall's with us. You got your microphone muted, I think, Randall. And your camera. Turn your camera on.
How you do that is take your mouse cursor and go to the top of the window that you see the picture in, and a drop down will come down. There'll be a microphone, and a camera with a line through it. You want to click on those, and that'll turn them on.
Oh, that's Randy Carberly. It says he left.
I think he's been on with us once before, hasn't he?
Not while I was here.
Yeah.
So Evo was on the other night.
Yeah, he had a little trouble getting on, but he managed to get in with us.
Yeah.
Well, Randy, try to get back on. We'd love to have you. I'm gonna have to try this soap. This cleans like no other soap with its built-in scrubber, which I don't know what that is.
It's probably like lava.
And remember, deep dirt. There's no other soap that can reach. Let's see. Contents: coconut oil, hydrogenated tallow, castor oil, sodium hydroxide, sugar, granulated sugar, ethyl alcohol, glycerin, perfume oil, honey, tallow, and scrubbing material.
Good Lord, with all that, it ought to be pretty good soap. Did you say castor oil?
Yep.
Use it to fuel your planes.
Mm-hmm.
There's no other soap. Let's see. Even removes dirt from beneath the fingernails where no other soap can reach. Contents: coconut oil, hydrogenated tallow, castor oil, sodium hydroxide, sugar.
You got the Salisbury steak patties are ready when you are.
Okay.
You want to wait till after your.
No, I'm gonna go down if they're ready. Guess my dinner's ready. Anyway, go through the ingredients. Coconut oil, hydrogenated tallow, sugar, ethyl alcohol, glycerin, perfume oil, honey, tallow, and scrubbing material. But we're going to give that bad boy a try.
Scrubbing material.
Use it for a candle if you had to.
Scrubbing material is probably like pumice or something.
It smells nice. It smells soapy.
Yeah, that's the sodium hydroxide. That's the sodium hydroxide, probably. Or that's what makes it feel slick.
It doesn't feel slick.
But it will when it gets wet.
I don't know what they're talking about, a scrubber. There's no scrubber on this unless
Is there pumice inside it?
it feels like gravel.
Yeah, that's the scrubber.
Yeah, pumice. Or sugar, yeah, you're right. I think sugar is a new way to get your bikini waxed.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go down and I'll be right back. I got to get my steak. It's ready to go.
Oh, yeah, you can't turn that down. Enjoy.
Salisbury steak. It's not a T-bone.
Oh, well. Hey.
Yeah, so I'm going to glue this trailing edge on so I can put that leading edge sheeting on.
Yeah, I still, every time I build a wing, I ponder over what order to start gluing things in place.
I know, it's like a science almost. If you don't do it right, you'll end up with a warp.
Yeah, that's the main thing, just not gluing a warp into it.
Yeah. need to get a fresh bottle of CA one of these days.
Is it starting to thicken up?
Yeah, you know how it gets.
Yeah, and the tips get all messed up too.
Yeah.
For general purpose CA, I like the 10-second Loctite. It comes with a little black, sort of a cone-shaped cap, and it never clogs. You go through the whole bottle without having any trouble with it coming out of the tip. And yeah, if you spread them, the little CA tips that you buy at the hobby shop will fit on it too.
Oh yeah.
But it just doesn't soak in nearly as quick as the thin CA. But it's good for just about any kind of general purpose gluing.
Yeah, I've been using super jet glue. This kind.
Oh yeah, I've never tried that brand.
Yeah, I've used that ever since I've discovered CA as a glue, and I've never had any problem with it. I mean, yeah, it does clog every now and then, but I don't know.
Is it really thin?
Well, they make thin, thick, and medium. I use the medium mostly.
Yeah, you can flat make a mess in a hurry with the thin stuff.
Oh my gosh, yeah, there's no controlling it.
No. And that's what irritates my nose and eyes the worst of all of them. Most of them don't bother me, but the super thin type CA will make me feel like I've got a bad cold the next
Oh yeah,
time after using it.
yeah, well.
So what's the weather? I forget where you live, Frank.
I live in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania.
Okay, so that's
on the
in,
groundhog.
Central Pennsylvania.
It's western.
Hmm.
It's like an hour from Pittsburgh.
Yeah. I got a good internet buddy that I've met in real life one time that lives in Pittsburgh. Name's Chris. He calls himself #liner on Stunt Hanger.
Oh, okay.
He's been building a pair of tanagers that have been getting a pretty good bit of attention. Do you get, or do you even care to get in the shop every night?
My shop?
Yeah.
I have
Working now. I don't know.
Yeah,
If
I work in a spare bedroom, and lately I've been working a ton of overtime, and I just haven't been in the mood to work on this. Is actually the first night I've actually worked on it in like a month. But I'd love to work on these things every day if I could. But I got to be in the mood. I just can't just work on it.
Yeah, it's hard. I've been finding it hard to get motivated lately.
Yeah.
And contest season was fast and furious, you know, 2 of them back to back. And so that kind of dominated my thoughts for a few weeks. And so now that that's behind me, I got nothing to do all summer except for play. So I'm looking forward to doing a couple of fun days and catching up on things I've been putting off.
Yeah.
Finally getting that twister finished. I've been talking about it since January. People are probably getting tired of hearing about it now. So
Yeah, I remember you talking about it.
yeah, I did plenty of that. So
Can't wait to see it.
it's just waiting for paint over the repair parts now.
Yeah, I've got this Brodak Nobler kit I've been working on for a while now, and as soon as I get it done, I've got a Bob Hunt lost phone system for a Geo XL. I want to do it.
I have no plans for the GeoXO.
Well, I have a set of paper plans and the wing lost phone wing.
And you have a set of paper plans for Junar, right?
Well, both. I got a Juno and a Geo, or Junar and a Geo.
Because this airplane is just a combination of parts.
Yeah, yeah. That's what Bob told me. He said you can take a Geo XL wing and make it whatever you want.
Right. And it flies good.
Yeah, I can't wait to get something finished so I can go fly.
You don't have anything flyable now?
Well, I've got that Junior Flight Streak and primer. It needs painted, but it's done.
Squirt some paint on it and go fly it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about just getting some like Krylon or something and spray on it.
No,
To the auto parts store and get you some of that Duplicolor Perfect Matte lacquer, acrylic lacquer, and that stuff dries as fast as you can spray it on, just about like dope. And it'll also play well with butyrate, clear, or luster coat. Anything
Oh, okay.
throw at it.
Okay, so that will be fuel proof then?
no.
No,
Oh,
no, you got to coat it with some kind of field-proof clear.
oh, okay.
Dope is not fuel proof either.
Around the nose and the engine and tank area, I usually use luster coat. That's about as bulletproof as you can get, except for urethane, but it's lighter than urethane. I think it is.
In order for it to be fuel proof, it has to be catalyzed, meaning epoxy or urethane.
Well, the luster coat comes just out of a rattle can, but it's about as bulletproof as anything. I use it on my 35% nitro cafe flames, and nothing makes a mark on it.
I think Randy would have sprayed in. Never met him. I mean, I've seen him on the forum.
Who? Randy?
Yeah.
He must have had a problem on his end because he obviously was able to click the link.
Yeah. Hey, you guys ever use one of these permagrit tools?
No. What grid is it? 30?
It's 220. Well, one side is 60 and the other side is 220.
Is it diamond or something?
It's a what do we call it? Tungsten carbide. It's got two different grits on it. I like it because you can set the tool on its side and sand a perfect 90-degree angle on whatever you're sanding, like a trailing edge, you know?
Yep. I went and bought a piece of angle aluminum about an inch by an inch at Lowe's and clamped that in my vise and use it for sanding the back sides of flaps and long straight pieces like that.
Yeah. What'd you say about Bob Hunt, Sparky?
Bob Hunt uses the permagrit.
Yeah.
There we go. Who we got here?
What's going on?
Oh, not much. We're just hanging out, hoping somebody will join up with us. Chris, how you doing, Chris?
I'm doing good. Wait for everybody to get on here.
Oh, it did.
Yeah, a couple of people have tried to get in and then fallen out. I don't know what the problem is. Oh, Chris, you got to turn your YouTube in the background off. It's coming through like an echo.
Oh, really? All right. So
Yeah, I only have
gotta-
one window open.
gotta log off and come back on.
No,
No, just close that
tell
window.
it that YouTube is on and mute it or turn it off.
See what happens here.
It's a cool avatar.
you turned the wrong button off.
Sounds like you turned some more on. We got 3 echoes. Hello.
I can hear you. Frank, stop standing for a minute.
All right, now I got
Okay,
the YouTube off.
Chris.
Yeah.
Okay, the window that you can see us on with the little boxes at the bottom. That's the window you want to keep open.
I can't see nothing. All I see is my home screen.
Go up with your mouse near the top of the screen, and a bar will pop up with a picture of a microphone and a camera. You can turn on the camera there. There you go.
We good now?
Yeah, except I
No.
still hear your YouTube in the background.
I don't know how to shut that off.
Now listen, the window that you're in now
Yeah.
is the one you want to keep open.
Right.
Close everything else.
I'm not quite sure how to do that.
X at the top,
I don't see no X.
top right corner.
Have you got your browser?
Full screen. I got a full screen here. I'm on my phone.
Oh,
Oh,
have you got a computer in the room too? Somewhere we're hearing YouTube in the background.
Really? Is it sure it's not TV?
Yeah, because every time I talk, I hear my voice repeating what I just said. About a
Really?
second delay.
Let's see. I know what I might be able to do.
This happens with every new person that comes up with it, so don't sweat it.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is here. There's no, it doesn't open at all.
Well, maybe somebody else has got their YouTube open.
no.
Let me double check mine. But bang, bang, bang. I just closed all of my tubes.
Well, Chris has turned the echo off, but I think he's turned himself off. No, now the echo is back.
Yeah, we still got the echo.
Really? Well,
Hell.
Feel like I'm tripping out.
You shouldn't have had that last cup of coffee.
House.
Well, that's better sound in there, Frank. That's some loud sandpaper you got, buddy.
It's that big permagrit that I have.
Yeah, it sounds, Clarky does too. It sounds a lot more aggressive on the microphone than it does in real life.
It's one grit.
I hope Chris can figure out what's going on.
yeah, I
Try
should
to-
probably try
Close all the windows, sign out, sign back in with a clean slate.
Yeah, maybe that's the best
Yeah, I was
idea.
thinking about that. Hmm.
Well, we see his face now. Still hear the echo though.
That's a funny picture. That's a funny picture.
Looks like the North Korean leader. The North Korean leader. Kim Jong Fat. Kim Jong Fat.
Kim Jong Lady. Okay, Chris has left the group, and we have no echo.
I think maybe I need to do a video on how to, get in these places.
When I first signed in this evening, I did a little explanation on turning your background tabs off, but of course nobody was watching then. So
Well, I think that's going to be it for this airplane tonight. I got to wait till tomorrow so I can sand out these fillets. It's hard for me to get enthused about painting these.
so what's the color scheme going to be on them? Just white?
Red, white, and blue. John Simpson paint scheme. With a Cavalier canopy. I guess it's a signature canopy. John has offered for me to let me fly his Cavalier. It looks like it flies pretty good. The only problem I have with flying other people's airplanes is if something happens, then I gotta build one.
Yeah. Well, if I ever offer to let anybody fly my plane, I do it knowing that it could be lost and not worry about it.
Did you hear what David Fitzgerald asked me? He said, do you have any special instructions? Chris, you got that echo.
The echo cleared
Still
up
on?
when you signed off, but now you came back with it. I wonder.
Huh.
Have you opened YouTube also, as well as the chat?
Excuse me?
Have you opened YouTube along with the chat window?
No.
Okay, well, maybe we're assuming it's something that's besides YouTube. I don't know.
How many tabs do you have open?
How many what?
Tabs.
He says he's
I
on
got
his
nothing.
phone.
I'm on my phone. It's weird. There should be nothing on except for this. All I did was turn on the Hangouts.
Well, it looks like the echo. I was about to say the echo cleared up, but I still hear myself in the background. I closed all of mine, and it went away when you went away. Came back with you.
There we got somebody else.
All right. Well, I was just trying to see if I could hook up. I'll try to get back in later tomorrow.
Okay.
Next time or something like that.
Sorry about that. We're love to have you. We'll get it figured out.
Yeah. The computer
Hey,
hooked
Steve.
up. Probably better on the computer.
What's up?
I don't know, I'm echoing bad.
Yeah, we're gonna fix that right now.
Yeah, we had that problem with Chris a minute ago.
There we go. We got
Yeah, now,
echoes. Okay.
What did you do?
yeah, once,
What?
Did you do something on your end, Sparky? To
No,
stop it? Okay.
he just left the chat.
Well, been a long time, Steve. How you been doing?
Oh, not too bad. Just got back from Kentucky.
What's going on in the bluegrass state? You get any bluegrass while you were there?
Nah, that's what everybody said. You find some down there, let me know. But I worked my ass off for that 7 days. And we were at, I don't know, some days 10, some days 12. One day was 14 hours, and I'm getting too old for that crap.
Have you gotten any flying time in? Take any planes with you?
No, I was in London, and I couldn't find anything down by London. Everything was about an hour and a half drive away, and I just didn't have any time to do that. Samantha did fly in like 4 flights, but it's been so windy here that you can't fly. I mean, nobody's flown in a week and a half. We waited till 25 after 8. The wind died down to about 10, and we got in 4 flights before it got dark, and that was it.
Yeah, 10's good. That's no problem at all. But when it starts getting above that, especially if there are trees, then it starts getting a little rough. But does Samantha have anybody she can call up to go flying with when you're not around?
Yeah, well, she probably could. She will in a couple weeks. Dick Imoff, he doesn't live too far away, and he said he'd fly with her. But she gets out of school, and by the time she gets here and stuff, I'm about a half an hour, and I'm home. So we'll go up then. But the other half of the time, she's with her mom, about 40 miles away. So, and her mom won't let her fly or anything.
Well, that's no fun.
Nah. We were talking about that tonight, so.
Why is that? Why wouldn't she let her fly?
She thinks it's something guys do. It's not a girl's thing.
Well, my niece is a mechanical engineer. Well, a mechanical engineering student at Clemson. And that's pretty awesome.
You know, this day and age when guys are dressing like girls and girls are dressing like guys, are worried about who can fly.
Yeah, her mom's just a pain in my ass. I got 1 more year to have to deal with it after that. Yeah.
Nice goatee.
Yeah, thanks. Oh, crap. I still can't figure out where that reverse thing.
You broke up. I couldn't understand what you said, Sparky.
I can't find where that place is to reverse this camera. Settings. Save.
When you leaving for Brodex, Sparky?
I don't know, about a week or so.
I think we'll leave here. Well, we should get there Saturday night. We're going to go up Saturday and then stay to the following Saturday. That's the plan anyway.
There we go. They renamed it.
What's your name?
Mirror,
First.
mirror your video, not reverse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I couldn't get on the other night. I finally got on. I went back down there and I went on where Sparky put on an address. And once I punched that one in, I wasn't realizing that once I was in, I wasn't hanging up. and it kept my call going, and there was nobody else in the call. I cleaned everything out and got on tonight.
Since I've been hosting, I've been starting them up an hour earlier too, 9 o'clock Eastern time rather than Central time.
Yeah, I tried to get on in Kentucky last Friday, and they had tornado warnings and all that kind of stuff. Everything was coming out of Missouri, coming across. Man, it was bad. Wind was blowing and shit and stuff was flooding, and we were losing internet. And I'm like, I just finally just go to bed. Went to bed.
If you're hosting down there when I'm in Ohio, I think I might be able to get on, but I can't start one from down there. I know. I think I talked to you one time.
Yeah, you popped in from the hotel one time.
Internet connection is
You
still
heading to Ohio pretty soon?
Sunday.
Oh, then from Ohio, then you'll head to Brodak?
Yeah. I'm gonna work a week and then
Okay.
take off a week and then go back to work a week and then come home for 2 weeks, then go back to the Nats, or go back to work and then go to the Nats.
Yeah, they wanted me down next week, back down to Kentucky, and I pushed that off until after I get back from Brodak on Saturday. And it looks like Sunday I got to take off and go back to Kentucky, but it's 70. Well, I got 78 hours in that week. It's like, that's too much.
Damn.
The week
Yeah,
before Brodak.
That's way too much.
No more than a truck driver.
What was crazy when I was there, the first night I got there, some truck driver there by London, I think it was at Exit before, he got all drunk. A bunch of the guys that I worked with was at the restaurant bar and was pushing some car around the parking lot. They called the police, and he thought it was his buddy's car.
Oh
And
shit.
he got it for drunk driving and destruction of property and attempted murder or something. And it was just crazy, the stuff that it was on all the news and stuff. Well, they said he was just so drunk that he could hardly walk and shit. They thought he just went to bed, but he got behind the wheel and was messing around in his semi.
Jeez. Well, that was fucking stupid.
Oh yeah, they said he was picking fights, and they said he was so drunk that everybody was, just kind of messing,
off.
Yeah, finally the management, said, hey, you got to go and stuff, and then he went and did that.
Went out in the parking lot and had his own little party.
Well, it was a truck stop next door to this restaurant bar. And he went over to the truck stop, and I don't know where that car came from. The car was just parked there trying to get somebody's in it trying to get some sleep. But he ran up to it broadside and was pushing it across the parking lot sideways.
God, what a hell of a way to wake up.
Yeah, really. But yeah, it's different down there. They find there's no ever any need to rush or hurry or anything else. It's just crazy. But the place we work for, I'm used to up here, how many hours is it going to take and how much is it going to cost? And they're like, well, we're losing $10,000 an hour with this line being down. Do whatever you have to do. So we sent a guy to Florida, or 2 guys to Florida to pick up a unit to bring back, and we put it all in and got it going. But yeah, it was just, who cares how many hours you work? We'll pay double time, whatever. Just do it. I'm like,
The
all
only
right.
thing about double time and overtime, and I noticed this on my last check, I only worked 8 days, the last pay period. I made almost as much in 8 days as I do in 10 days because of the overtime.
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of nice that way.
all the overtime. No, you don't understand. All the overtime goes to the government.
Oh yeah, they tax you more on it. Yeah, I should find out tomorrow what my paycheck is, but I'll see how much they take out of me. But you know, I mean, I think I got 15 hours of time and a half, and I think 8 hours of double time. So it'd be a pretty good paycheck for 7 days.
So you'll get $5 an hour for all that.
Yeah.
The rest goes to the government.
Somebody's got to keep the damn government going. I guess I'll have to kick in my fair share this week.
You talking about state government or federal government?
Federal.
Federal. Yeah, at least they don't tax you at time and a half. It kind of seems like they do, but
You get to a certain point, they bump you up in a bracket. When I was working for Harley, I was probably in the 28 to 30% bracket.
yeah, we used to have guys that paid attention to that, and they wouldn't work towards the end of the year. Any overtime, they take vacation, all kinds of shit, days off, so it didn't kick them in that higher tax bracket. Sparky, you fly the Nobler yet?
No,
I want to see some video on that OS motor running.
they run good.
I heard you say you're gonna do another airplane and put a pipe on it and stuff, but
Yeah, I got the pipe header right here.
where'd you get that? Find it at a hobby shop down in North Carolina or South Carolina, wherever you're at?
eBay. Exhaust header pipe for a 21SC, a 25F, a 28F, and a 32F. But what they don't tell you is if it fits the 32F, it'll fit an FP40 too.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
So that means it'll fit a LA 40 or anything like that.
I don't know. Will it fit? Does an FP motor pipe fit an LA?
Yeah. Actually, the
Yeah,
Inya 40,
Got a 35.
the Inya 40, the Evolution 36, the Evolution 40, and all the LAs, FPs, the muffler works on all of them.
Here's the pipe I'm going to use on it.
Oh, that's
I think
cool.
an FP20. I think an FP25 is different. Seems like one of the FPs is different from the rest.
Yeah, the
I forget.
25 FP and LA 25 are different. But yeah, all the bigger ones. It's like I buy that muffler from Horizon for the Evolution 40. It's a bigger chambered deal.
Hmm.
I think they're $8, and I run them on the Inyas. I run them on the LAs and FPs and stuff like that. They're super light, and it gives the motors a lot more power.
They don't have a cartridge in them that you have to remove. Some mufflers do, don't they?
They got that baffle in them or whatever.
Yeah.
I got a call from
Yeah.
Randy today. I should be getting my 75 here shortly. So I think my next airplane, my next Junar, will be for a 75.
You got a lot of stuff cut out for that already?
Oh yeah, I got almost enough parts for 2 kits. I'm making a kit for one guy, and then I'll build one for myself.
Yeah, I was hoping that excuse me, that Billy would have his pipes ready, but I don't know when they'll ever start making pipes again.
Randy's got pipes. If
Oh,
somebody
has he got pipes now?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Somebody-
he was out of them too.
I found a header. This is a setup that was in my S6B Supermarine, so I got this header will fit a 75. Got to crock it, get it clean. I could run
Has he
this.
got headers? Has Randy got headers and everything now too?
What's that?
Does Randy got headers?
No. Don't know who's going to make the headers.
Well, yeah, the Mac died. That was who was making them for him.
Right.
Because I got a special one made. You know, Mac made me a couple special ones for that 40 Merlin 40 and stuff.
Randy ought to talk to Scott Dinger.
Well, I know I have to get on. I can get on my damn computer that's broken, but I can probably work to get on there. There's a guy in Canada that still makes them. He made me one here for a pattern RC pattern ship about 6 years ago. But he makes really good ones, and I know he's still doing it. But
hey,
God, I paid I think $65 for it.
Look at this. See that? How hard can that be to make? Come on.
Dick was gonna make some flanges, and I was gonna have them welded up at work. But the bender to bend that was like $600 and some dollars, and it's like, do I want to get $600 and some dollars? And
you don't need a $600 bender to bend this tubing.
They
All you
say
need is water.
What's that?
All you need is water.
Yeah, they say you can you plug them, you put water in them, you freeze them, and then you bend them like that.
That's right. I called NASA years ago down in Florida, and I explained to the lady who answered the phone who I was and what I'm trying to do, and could she direct me to somebody that would tell me how they bend that aluminum tubing on the space shuttle. So they sent me down to some engineer, and I explained who I was and what I'm trying to do, and he said it's real easy. All you have to do is fill it with liquid nitrogen. I said, well, I don't have no liquid nitrogen. He says, well, you can fill it full of bismuth. I said, I don't have any of that. He said, I'll send it to you. What bismuth is a low temperature melting metal. You melt it with hot water. You plug one end and you fill this thing with bismuth. And I did bend them up with bismuth. I don't have any now, but I'm sure I could get another ingot. And then it becomes a solid bar of metal. Then you bend it, then you heat up the pipe, and all the metal, hold the pipe under hot water, all the metal pours out of it, and you got a pipe.
I wonder if you could fill it with Pepto-Bismol. That's all that's made from is bismuth.
Thought that was magnesium.
Yeah.
No, Pepto-Bismol is bismuth. But I could probably get a bag of bismuth, because that's what my brother hunts ducks and stuff with, because you can't shoot lead. So they shoot bismuth instead.
And just put it in a cup and heat it up with hot water and pour it into a pipe, bend it, and then heat up the pipe and pour the bismuth out.
So really, you don't, once you get the bismuth, you got it. You don't use it up or anything.
Well, you got to cap the ends of the pipe somehow.
Right, with a cork.
Yeah.
No big deal. Yeah, I think I loaned my piece of business to somebody at Harley Davidson, and I never got it back. Because I just kept like when I poured it out, I just put it in a cup and it would harden up into a chunk of metal. Then I would heat it up and do it again. I made 3 or 4 pipes, but
I wonder if you could cut the you know, the part that fits on the motor, that flange.
yeah,
I wonder if you could cut that with a water jet. If water jet would cut that.
well, certainly you could cut the, you could make this by hand, no big deal. Take you about 30 minutes to cut a piece of aluminum out like that by hand, no big deal.
Well, what it is that we got a guy who's just starting to fly, and he's over in, I don't know, England or Europe now on some vacation, but he just bought a water jet. And we're thinking, just for himself, just to have a water jet. And we're like, damn, we could cut a lot of shit. We could cut bell cranks, you know, and different things like that with it, handles. But I'm thinking that, hell, I could get him to cut out a bunch of them blanks for header pipes.
Now, they weld this together or whatever, how they're put. I think this is not welded. I think it's soldered.
Yeah. Yeah, it's called aluminum. The place that makes that shit is here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. It's, I don't know, probably about 2 miles from where I work. And I used to get that for the guy in Canada until he worked out, once the that trade deal went through, that he could buy it. But that's what he uses is just a solder that you solder on. You can do it with propane.
Right. I don't believe it's heliarc because heliarc is a stringer or a figure 8, and these are just a real smooth. They put flux on it or something and just float it in there.
But I'll tell you one thing: Aluma Braze from Harbor Freight doesn't work worth a shit. Because I got a tube of that out in my garage, and it looks like it worked, but they break off.
You could JB weld it.
Yeah, if it didn't, I don't know how hot that would get, if it would soften up that JB weld or not, that close to the fire.
Regular JB is pretty temperature resistant. I don't know what the rating on it is though.
Well, I did one with JB weld on for my Rojet 76, a header pipe, and got that from Randy, but the end loosened up on it, so I figured I'd JB weld it. It melted the JB weld out of it after about 2 flights.
Was it regular JB or JB Quick?
Pardon me?
Was it regular JB or was it JB Quick?
It was regular JB.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm gonna get off here.
In it, I guess it's soften it up and blow a hole.
Okay, Frank.
We'll see you.
All right, take it easy, man. We'll see you later.
Take it easy.
Bye.
So I end up taking it to work and have them.
I could make this no problem. If something comes down to it, I'll make them. I'm working for the guy in Ohio. I can cut these at work and make this piece at work. No big deal. I could even weld it there because they have an aluminum welder, but I don't think it's going to turn out as nice because I think this is soldered.
Yeah. If you want to try it, I'll run to that shop and get some in the welding or the soldering brazing rod, they call it. Now they were selling it. The guy had the good shit there at Toledo again this year.
Yeah, I saw that. Hey,
yeah, I was gonna get some from him, then I forgot about it.
You didn't send me the propeller, did you?
You showed me the propellers you got.
No.
Oh no, that was the balsa wood you got.
Did you send me a propeller? You said you were sending me one.
No, I got it boxed up and I had to leave for Kentucky and stuff, and I never got it in the mail, but it's sitting there on my table. I got to get it to you.
No big deal.
We tried to make one out of carbon fiber. It didn't work. it's too flexible. The tips are, this prop is made so thin that when he tried to mold it, it would just bend the blades when he put the clay under it. That didn't work at all. So that mold was shot. But yeah, I'll send this thing to you.
I got my exponential handle.
Have you tried it?
Up. No, I'm gonna try it next time I go out.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I want to hear how that works. I like it. I think
John,
tomorrow I'm going to try my hard point for the first time. I've never flown with one before. I've been carrying one around with me. Hadn't gotten around to it.
Frank Williams says it works real good, so it's probably got to work pretty good. He's pretty sharp.
Yeah, John Paris, he's tested his. He says the weird thing is the clicking noise. It bothers him like something's going to break in the handle, because when they flop back and forth, they go click, 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 click.
Yeah.
But he said that was the problem.
Put a piece of rubber in there.
Yeah. When it hits, it doesn't make that clicking noise. But he said that he flew with it. And what airplane is straight back through the door there, Sparky? It looks like it's all in clear.
That is my S6B Supermarine.
Oh.
That airplane.
What color is it?
It looks beige.
No, it's silver.
Yeah, it looks
silver and blue. I'll get it. I flew this in 07 at the Nats. I think it was 06. Can you see it?
Wow.
oh yeah. That's
bird.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It's
They have a
S6 Supermarine.
S60.
S like Sam, 6, Bravo, S6B Supermarine.
Oh, what motor did you fly in it?
PA61.
That's a beautiful airplane.
59 ounces.
Holy cow.
66-inch wingspan.
That's a big bird.
Yeah, it's too big.
Hey, when are you gonna put one of your original designs back in the air?
What do you think this is? This Junar? It only looks like a Billy airplane. It's basically my numbers, and when I changed to a 75, I got to refigure the numbers.
Oh. What was it was it the Vipers that you had?
Yeah.
Well, weren't them around like little over 600 square inches?
They were 670, somewhere in there.
Oh, they were that big? Oh, I thought they were a little bit.
Well, I built them all different sizes. Viper 1 was about 600.
Yeah, we're doing that. Oh shit, I can't think. Yeah, I'll think of it here in the name of it here in a minute. Astaris. And that's like 620 square inches. It's more the size of David Fitzgerald's airplane. But yeah, I kind of wonder if the smaller, you knock them down a little bit, if, they still present well and fly a little better or whatever.
Well, I like light.
Yeah. Well, but what I don't understand is that between a 40 and a 60 size airplane, with flying into dead air. You know, the deal where a 40, it doesn't seem to bother, and a 60 will just plummet right to earth.
The big one displaces more air, creates a
Yeah.
bigger void when it flies through.
But I mean, it's, yeah, it just seems crazy how it's so much difference. And there's really not, you know, you go from a 580 square inch airplane to 670, you're adding 100 square inches, and that thing will just, you know, quit flying like that when it hits its own turbulence or whatever. Yeah, because Dick was flying that one of his is at 680 something or 690, so close to 700. We're all flying like that. He hit dead air and it looked like a floundering duck coming down, and all of a sudden it started flying again, and we all thought for sure it was hitting the ground. But I'm like, man, I don't think I'd like that.
I was watching Derek fly the other day, and it was not dead air, but he was still walking backwards as he did his loops. And I guess that was more for keeping the sizes consistent, because whether there's dead air or not, there's probably still some disturbance left from your previous loop. So every
1 hour wind, you must step back, or else you're going to hit your weight and it'll fall out of the sky, like hitting a vacuum.
how many miles an hour did you say?
5.
5. Okay. So
Oh, well, I'm not gonna monkey with this. Man, I could clean this up and make it look good. Dirty.
Well, it looks good on the, you know, from the video.
Dirty.
Rusty, you going to Brodak?
I know I'm not going to be able to make it, Steve. I did make it to Triple Tree, so that's my one nice place to be able to go that's near me. But Pennsylvania, I can't make that trip.
Oh,
Hey, Steve, instead of mailing that propeller, put it in your toolbox and bring it to Brodax.
oh yeah, that's a good idea. We can test some stuff there, can't we?
Yeah.
I'll have to live vicariously through you guys at Brodak.
Is it a 2-blade or a 3-blade?
3-blade.
I'll see if I got a 3-blade. I think I got a 3-blade spinner. What size is it?
12.6.
That's the right side.
Yeah, it seems, you know, figure we'll test it and see what's going on. I did test a carbon fiber 3-blade 11.4, but when it came, must be when they come out of the molds, the pitch ain't right or whatever, because I was spooling that thing up to about 10,500 and it can only get 5-8 lap times on it.
Yeah, that's kind of slow. More than kind of slow.
So, can you repitch carbon props, Sparky?
Yep.
We're gonna bring some to Brodak, and then I have a damn pitch gauge, but when I use it with the thing on there, nothing comes out even close to where the pitch is what the blades say they are.
I'll teach you how to use it.
I don't know why some manufacturers have so much problem getting the pitch right. Like Master Air Screw was a cheap prop, but you got to buy a higher pitch than you actually need, or you got to buy one that claims to be a higher pitch than you actually need.
Oh, crap.
What's wrong?
No, that's right. I got a spinner now.
Oh, okay. Hey, how's your Junar flying? You got it trimmed out pretty good now?
Yep.
Yeah, I watched it fly a couple of weeks ago. It was a nice, spectacular looking plane in the air. Sparky put up a good flight on it till it ran out of gas exiting the clover. So he had to whip it during landing and got dinged a few points on that, but he did make it. He touched down right at 2 laps. Barely made it.
Here's a pitch gauge. Is that what you got? A Prather pitch
Yeah.
gauge?
Yeah. Mine is made by Bob McDonald, which kind of looks like that, but when I, turn the blade up and stick that little ruler thing down on it, it's like a 4 pitch, and this damn thing will be like on 6 and shit. I'll check other ones, it'll be that 3, and it's supposed to be, and I'm like, what the hell?
Which station are you using it at?
I tried all of the things, and it says stations on there, and what? I don't know. It just doesn't make much sense to me how that works.
You just read up the 10 slot. This is at a 3.5.
Hey, Sparky, I've never seen one in use. Can you hold it up to the camera while you're measuring that? And let me see what it looks like you're doing.
Okay, where's the camera? Okay, let me turn this on so you can see, and I can see if you can see. Let me click this on.
Okay, I got you locked in over here.
Okay, here we have a Prather pitch gauge. It has different rows of the stations.
Yeah.
On this side, we have the stations. I take this, put it in like 10 to measure it out. You can measure it the whole way, but 10 gives you a pretty good reading of what it is. You put the leading edge of the propeller up against the stop here.
Yeah.
Then I turn it upside down, and it's laying flat across, it's touching the leading and the trailing edge of the propeller. Then you come over to slot 10 and read up, what does it say? And this one is in between the 4 and the 3. So this is a 3.5 pitch propeller at station 10.
Okay, interesting. All right, good. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, mine looks a little different than that, but
The same thing.
now when you pitch them, you just heat it with a hair dryer. Is that what you do? And
Hair dryer.
twist it a little bit?
I use a heat gun.
Oh, okay.
Just hold it right at the tip and twist it.
I tip it. I try to twist it down at the root.
Oh,
Okay, so now I'm at station 7. Station 7, and you hold it up tight against there. It's only touching the trailing edge here and not the leading edge. So you have to bring it out away from the arc here until it touches both leading and trailing edges. At station 7, this is a 3.75. It's in between 3.5 and 4 at station
Well,
7.
I know what I was doing. I was putting the prop in upside down and setting that little level thing on it. I didn't think about doing it upside down. I had my prop flipped over and then put that little arm thing laying on it.
No,
So maybe that's why I was coming up with all kinds of weird numbers.
you got to measure the back side of the propeller.
and I guess,
Yeah, I did. I flipped the propeller over so the backside was facing up.
No,
and I guess the pitch varies from the root to the tip too. So you have to average it.
that's called That's called THP, true helical pitch. And what that means is, like a boat propeller, it starts at the root at 0 or whatever, and as it goes out, it's twisting out to the end of the tip. But your efficiency of the propeller comes in about station 10.
Okay.
Of course, I'm
What-
sure that, you know, propellers are a science. And, you know, there's a lot of guys know a whole lot more about propellers than I do, but that's what I know. You know, that's how I do it.
Is that your PA prop right there?
That's one of them.
For like a 61 or something like that, that'll turn up
65.
65. So what launch RPM are you launching them 65 at then?
Yeah, that's about how I do it. I've got a tack in my box, but I never pick it up.
I got a tack too. I never use it. The motor should be at a hard 4-stroke on the ground, breaking into a 2-stroke, you know, running 4, and then you'll hear it bleep into 2-stroke. And then when you let it go, it'll go 2-stroke for a second, and it'll take a lap to come out, and it'll break into a hard 4.
Oh, okay.
That's how I do
So
it.
then you do all your lap times by line length then, and not tweaking the needle at all?
Never. You want to run the motor where it's comfortable. And if you want to adjust lap speed, you go with pitch. Or if pitch is not going to work, you go with line length.
Oh, okay.
But you got to think of the propeller as the gear. So what, you know, like my Super Tigers, they like 13.6 rev ups. It is a tractor torque propeller. It's a real low RPM, pushes, it's like being in first gear. Well, no, actually second gear.
Yeah.
These propellers here don't grab as much air, so so the engine's running faster. So it's like in first gear. This is the gearing of your airplane, but you want the motor to run where it's comfortable.
Oh, okay.
I mean, when I hear a Super Tiger running, I can tell a good engine run from a bad run, and everybody says, "Man, that runs great." They're stock. They run that way because that's where they want to run, and you have to adjust the propeller and line length to match the engine RPM. In my opinion, seems to work for me.
So all this crap about these reworked Super Tigers and all that kind of stuff, all that did was just mess with them, huh?
I don't know what they did to them. All my Super Tigers I've ever run have been bone stock. I got 4 of them. They're all stock, and they all run exactly the same because I set them up exactly the same. I run the same fuel, the same propeller, the same venturi, the same spray bar, and they all run exactly the same. No fancy reworks or nothing.
Oh, okay. What kind of fuel do you run? Regular Super Tiger, what they call for, or do you run 22% or?
No, too much oil, 22%. Sig Champion, 10%. 10%
Okay.
10% clots, 10% nitro.
All right. Yeah, that's where I mix my own fuel, and basically the only difference I do is that I'll put some of Randy Smith's Aero 1 in there.
And what does that do for you?
It's supposed to be that if, you get a lean run, something would happen that it's supposed to help.
Yeah.
Just
We don't
protect.
hardly get lean. And, I always say that, well, I put this in there and it's expensive. I don't get any lean runs. I'll be damned if we didn't get some shit out of the tank in Samantha's airplane 2 weeks ago. That son of a bitch went lean. Oh my God, did it go lean. Had to clean out the fuel filter. So I don't know if it saved the motor. The motor's fine and stuff. So I don't know if it was a good thing or if it needed it. But
Well, if it's obviously not a bad thing, then stick with it.
15 years.
oh no kid.
I don't use it. Yeah, 15.
Yeah, I don't know if the new clot stuff has that additive already in it or whatever. They used to use stuff like that back when Yukon, that was before clots added, their shit to it. They take Yukon oil and add some stuff to it to make it a little better, but
I'm going to tell you something about oil, and you're going to say that I'm full of crap, but I've seen it happen already. There's one oil additive for cars that I would recommend, and I don't know where to get it. It's called Revive. Now, you'd think that would be some kind of snake oil for making the rings unstick or whatever, and it probably does. But this additive to the oil, you add 1 pint per oil change, will give you 2,000 extra RPM. And how do I know that? Bill Hill, who ran Top Alcohol, the only other car sponsored by Budweiser besides Kenny Bernstein, had his shop over here, and I used to work on that race car, volunteer to work on that race car. And he's the one who sold me on it. They were sponsored by it. He said, I want to show you something. I said, well, okay, great. They started up a 6,000 horsepower Keith Black Hemi and let it idle. And he said, now I want you to watch this. He poured a gallon of this stuff into the oil, and it picked up 2,000 RPM. And he had to idle it back.
holy cow. I used that stuff a long time. It had to be when I get married in the 90s. And I put that in my AMC Comanche pickup truck. And it was supposed, they said it would like fill any little scratches or whatever in the cylinder walls and all this kind of stuff, and to give you a better compression and better RPM, and it again.
What?
I never seen it in the stores again after I bought it that one time.
Yeah, I'll have to look on the internet and see if I can buy it, because I used it on Harley Davidsons for a while, and it gave some extra horsepower. So
Must be slicker than owl shit.
it's not an oil goop like STP. It's not thick. It's a chemical. And it really works. It quiets the gearboxes. You can put it in anything. Gearboxes, automatic transmission, rear ends, put it in the motor, oil. It's unbelievable shit. But it's real expensive too.
Sure.
But when you're sponsored by Budweiser and you're getting $1 million budget a year, and you're spending $3,000 a quarter every quarter mile, and a gallon of that crap costs you $40 or whatever it costs, no big deal.
Right. Yeah, when I worked at Guardsman there, we'd take anything we'd buy and shit, we'd take it to the lab and have them tear it down and find out what was in it. But for like carb cleaner and like STP oil treatment that you put in your gas, all that kind of stuff, we had that at work. They'd make it up, and we'd use it because they could take anything apart and figure out what was in it. And that was like I did experiment on paint, and I don't give a fuck if it was epoxy, acrylic, whatever. An ounce of solids, whatever it finished out, weighed within of each other. So if you took white acrylic and let it dry out till you had 1 ounce of dried material in a cup, or if you poured in 2 part and let it harden and stuff, They all weighed the same. Everything weighed the same. It had to do with all with the pigment in it, the dirt. And that's all it is just, you know, white is titanium dioxide now. And you had so much of it in there. If it was all the same percentage, all the paints weighed the same. It was crazy. It was just how, you know.
Now, let me run this by you here.
All right.
An ounce of pigment in anything will weigh an ounce. But
Right.
coverage is another story. How much coverage does it take that we're going to paint white on a wing? How much, if we mix up a quart of paint and we paint one coat or 5 coats or whatever it's going to take in dope on a wing, as opposed to 4 or 5 coats of automotive paint, they're not the same weight. And the reason is that the vehicle gases off with dope. It evaporates. So all that's left is pigment. Now with urethanes and enamels, the vehicle stays with the pigment. So that's not exactly correct statement what you're trying to say there.
Well, what it is that the varnish in it, or, you know, basically it's just varnish and pigment. And it's different kinds of varnishes. Some
Stop.
made of soy oil and
No, see,
but when I
dope is a lacquer base, but dope is actually glue, whether you do that or not. But it's a lacquer base, and lacquers are naphtha, and naphtha is lighter fluid, and when you pour it on there, it dissipates into the air. So that's the vehicle. The vehicle is a clear dope. That's the vehicle. So when you spray clear on, what's left? Just the pigment in clear. And it doesn't weigh hardly anything, clear dope. Now, we'll take white and add the pigment to that clear dope. So now we have the clear dope and the pigment weight. But if you take enamels or urethanes, the vehicle stays with the pigment. Does that make any sense? It's a plastic. Those paints, especially urethane, is plastic. So if it weighs 5 ounces in the cup and you spray it on the airplane, it's going to weigh 5 ounces on the airplane. But if you take 5 ounces in the cup of dope and spray it on the airplane, it's going to weigh an ounce, because, you know, that percentage gases off into the atmosphere. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's why it says all the solids weigh the same.
Okay,
After everything is done in hard, it all weighs the same. But the one thing is that when we made it there at Guardsman, that stuff was sprayed at like 100 and some degrees. They heated it.
Right.
So it was really thick when you bought it. They heated it up, that thinned it out. Then when they sprayed it on, it came out in mils once it was dried. You know, we had a mill gauge and we'd measure it. And that's the way that they got away with getting the coverage and not needing that much vehicle, because they heated it.
It's an old
Thins
furniture
the vehicle.
finisher trick, and I've explained it to people before about boiling dope. Now, I'm not recommending anybody boils dope, but I do it from time to time, in a double boiler. It's very volatile, but you take thick dope with I'm just going to use some percentages off the top of my head. Instead of 50-50 to spray it out of the gun, you mix it up 70% dope and 30% thinner. So now you have like a peanut butter, but if you boil it, it thins it down and you spray it. That's a furniture finisher's trick that they did back in the 30s.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, see, when I worked at Guardsman, we were known all over the world. At one time, we were the largest in furniture finishes. When I worked there, they'd bring stuff in from the Smithsonian, and they reproduce like Charles Dickinson's writing desk and all that kind of shit. And the stuff that we put on it was put on because it was made the same way it was made 200 years ago, and how good the shit lasted and stuff like that. I mean, but
I'm going to give you an example of paint and why I like dope finishes. But you can't paint an airplane to look like a baby grand piano. But look at
Right.
the finish on a baby grand piano. That's 10 coats of hand rub lacquer. Now, you paint a baby grand piano with 2 coats or 3 coats of urethane. They both look good, but they have a different look to them. And that look of the baby grand that's finished with lacquer is much nicer than the urethane to me. It's deeper.
yeah. The other thing with paint is too, and it's like, is how finely the pigment is ground. We had this scratch gauge deal, and we put it on there, and we draw it down, and you could see where the pigment started scratching the other pigment. So that was your grind deal, and the real expensive paint was ground and ground. It might be in there for an extra 6-7 hours. The grind, but the coverage was so much better because all that stuff would lay out so nice. But you know, I used to custom make. I'd take paint and regrind it, but you know, we had little grinders and stuff like that we could do in the labs and shit. But I don't have access to any of that stuff anymore. And I still say it's where I got my prostate cancer. Is I worked in the lacquer factory. I was always in there working, and that's made from gun cotton. And out of 6 of us in there, 5 of us got prostate cancer. 2 of us lived, and 1 other guy got some kind of funky stomach cancer and died.
So how much paint did you eat?
But
you're not supposed to be eating the paint.
well, when I had to take if a pump broke, when you took it apart, it was filled with paint. So when I rebuild these pumps and stuff, I'd get paint all over me. Well, then when you get paint on you, what do? You take thinner and you clean your hands off and stuff like that.
Goes into your capillaries.
Right. And then you breathe it, and you're sitting there, and when you're working on shit, you don't have, they said they had all the ventilation and all this kind of stuff, but all the shit we worked with, you can't even buy it. Stripper, they made stripper in there too. That was a lacquer product. And you can't even use the materials that are in stripper from when we did it back in the 80s and 90s.
Do you know anything about one-shot sign painter's paint?
I don't know. Yeah.
It's called one-shot, and it's an enamel. And back in the day, back in the 70s, 60s and 70s, you could load the brush, put it on for pinstriping or whatever, put it on the vehicle, and pull it down. It would do it in one stroke. That's why it was called one-shot. Well, they've taken the lead out of it now, and it won't do it in 5 shots. So it's junk.
Oh, yeah.
Anything that works is outlawed. Just like my dad said, don't eat the paint, don't eat lead, don't drink gasoline.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, guys, I got to go start getting some things done before I go to bed. But since y'all got a good conversation going, I'm going to leave it open, and I'll be back.
I got to get, it's after midnight. I got to be up at 6. So
let's close it out. So,
I got to go.
Close it up. Okay. Well, this was a good one. I'm glad, except for that one echo problem we had with Chris. We went pretty smooth tonight. We kept conversation going, so glad we're getting it smoothed out. So I'll see you Friday. You said you're going to start it up. You said you're going to start it up Friday, right, Sparky?
Friday at 8 o'clock. I'll be here. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share the video. Share it on Facebook, Twitter. On the forum, I've got links for some of the sanding products that I use, where I get them from on Amazon, and the compressor for Iwata and all that other stuff. Go ahead and use those because it helps Stunt Hanger. So
I'll make a note in my thread in the open forum for everybody to go to your at the bench thread.
No, don't do that. I'll lose my partnership.
Oh, okay. Well, all right then. I guess that's it for the night then. We'll see you Friday.
All right, guys.
sounds good. Take her easy.
See ya.
All right.
Bye.
Good night.